Hey guys, John Soda here, back into another movie review, and today we will be reviewing Halloween Ends. Now, if you guys are wondering, I did do reviews for Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills last year. I will leave the link to those videos down below. Now, Halloween Ends is the third and I believe final movie in the new Halloween trilogy. I don't think they're making any other ones. But if they do, I don't know how it turned out. But if they ever do, I think the best way it could turn out is if they make it another sequel to another sequel of the franchise. Like maybe have it be a sequel to like Halloween 4 or Halloween 5 or anything like that. Like I mean that would be a really cool idea actually. Or maybe like a proper remake to Halloween 3 season of the Witch, which I think would be a very creative idea too. So yeah, I mean, I hope this isn't the last of the Halloween movies, because for it to be Halloween Ends, I'm just going to say it right off the bat, this movie was incredibly disappointing. I thought this movie could have been way better. This movie could have been so much better, because this movie is not a good movie, in my opinion. This movie was very bad, and it really took like a big change, and it wasn't even a good change. I like it when some franchises or movies give us changes, but as long as they're good and compelling. But this was not a compelling change at all. It felt very, very weird, and they really fucked up the Halloween franchise. Like, they fucked it up. Like, for Halloween, like, this movie could have been so much better. Like, I was expecting like a Michael versus Laurie movie again, but if you guys haven't seen this movie, there will be some very, very, very major spoilers in this review. So please leave this review if you haven't seen this movie. Trust me, because like there are gonna be some heavy spoilers in this review. But with this movie, it's not a Michael versus Laurie story, because I love that about the first two, and like this one was like completely different than the first two. And what I hated about it was that Michael Myers is barely even in this movie. Like, it takes like 40 minutes of this movie for Michael Myers to make his first appearance in this movie, because the whole movie is not even him. The whole movie is literally just this other guy named Corey, which is such a random ass character. And like, what the fuck was his point? Because like Corey, like I mean at first he seems okay, but then by the end of it, it's like, what the fuck was the point of him? Like, he was okay, but like the whole love story between him and Allison literally was so fucking pointless in the movie. Like, what was the point of that whole love story? Why the fuck did we keep getting so much time of the movie with that when we could literally be having so much more time of Michael Myers just killing people? And this movie barely even had any kills in it. Like, and when we did, they weren't even all that great. Like, none of these kills were great. I mean, there was only one kill, like one sequence of the movie that I would say was okay, but everything else was just so bad. I mean, the characters, I guess the characters were okay. I mean, Laurie was still cool, though, don't get me wrong. Like, I still like Laurie. I thought she was still cool, but the fact that but the fact that, like, Michael's barely even in it, you kind of don't really care about her, because there's no Michael versus Laurie thing. But Allison, she was okay in the movie, but like I said, the whole love story with her and Corey just literally was pointless. And Corey, he was okay for the most part. Like, I guess you felt bad for him because of like people picking on him because like they thought he killed the little kid that he was babysitting, but he killed him by accident. He really regrets that. So many people are like give him shit for that. I felt bad for him there, but then by the end it's like, what was the point of feeling bad for him and shit like that if he literally just decides to do bad by the end? So yeah, and what else? But this movie, like I said, like it was completely different, and at times this movie kind of seemed like it was trying to pay homage to Halloween 3 season of the Witch, but I do enjoy Halloween 3 like a lot better than this movie. But from what I've seen, cause like Halloween 3 was like completely different than Halloween 1 and 2, and that's the same with this movie too. Is it's completely different than Halloween and Halloween Kills, and that movie didn't even have Michael Myers in it, and with this movie, he's barely even in it. So it seems like they're trying to pay a little bit of homage to Halloween 3, and even the fucking credits are very similar to Halloween 3's credits, but it just fails. Like, it doesn't pay homage. Like, why the fuck even pay homage to that movie if Michael Myers is not even in it? Like, why just make a final movie of Michael Myers only being in it for like a good like 5-10 minutes of screen time in this movie? And every time he's in it, it's like it's weird because Corey Cunningham becomes the killer of this movie. Like, he gets the most kills in this movie just because he turns into Michael Myers and he starts killing people just because he looks into Michael Myers' eyes. And it's like, what fucking sense does that make? None. That makes no fucking sense. That is like completely weird. And from that moment, it reminded me a lot like Jason Goes to Hell, Friday the 13th Part 9. It reminded me a lot like that because like you transfer the evil of Jason through this weird slug thing, which that was another very weird movie. And this movie kind of reminded me like that too, like looking into Michael Myers' eyes and the evil in him comes to Corey. So that was very weird. Like, it reminded me like Jason Goes to Hell, and why the fuck did they even go that route if no one even likes that movie? Like, why? Like, that's weird. Corey killing people, wearing Michael's mask, pretending to be Michael? What the fuck? What the fuck is that? It literally, you could have easily taken Corey out of this whole movie and just had it be a Michael versus Laurie story. Like a big finale of just Michael and Laurie fighting each other. Michael kills a lot of people. Michael's in it a lot. Before we see him die, we get to see him have his final kills, and maybe this would have had a bigger kill count than Halloween Kills. Imagine how much better that would have been. Imagine how much better of a movie this would be. They could have easily just done that. But then they just decided to do this boring ass weird different shit. Like, why? Why the fuck do this? Like, why? What the fuck? Like, what was the purpose of Corey? Because literally, I'm just gonna say it right now. Corey very abruptly kills himself at the end when he just so randomly stabs himself in the neck, and it's like, what was the point of Corey? Like, he literally just killed himself so randomly, and it's like so abrupt. It's so weird. It makes everything else in the movie just seem incredibly pointless. So, yeah, like, literally, but I will say this though. Like, a positive I could say about this was this movie was kinda enjoyable at times, kinda, but then by the end of it, the enjoyableness just seems pointless. Like I said, like, by the end of it, when Corey kills himself, it just makes everything else in this movie just seem completely pointless. And then what else? And sorry if I'm messing up with my hair a lot. Like, I don't know why my hair is going like this. Like, it's because I put my hat on too. Like, my hair is going down a lot. So sorry, excuse me about that. I mean, it doesn't look bad. I mean, it doesn't look bad at all, to be honest. But what was I gonna say? But what else was I saying about Corey? But yeah, like, the whole thing with, like, when Corey was killing people, it was okay, but there was this whole pointless scene of, like, Allison's coworkers dying, like, her manager and her, like, bitchy coworker, and it's like, yeah, that scene's pointless. It's like, yeah, you could have taken that scene out. Like, that scene just felt there just to be like, oh, there's no kills in the movie. Oh, here's a random kill. Yeah, that's literally how I felt like, and yeah, and what else? But when Corey killed the people, like the high school kids in the junkyard, I thought that scene was done pretty well, actually. Like, that was the only scene where I was like, oh yeah, those are okay kills. Like, Corey ramming over the girl through the gate, and then Corey, Corey making the high schooler shoot the guy, like, the security guard in the head. Corey, like, banging his head so many times, like, knocking him with a shotgun. And, like, him just stabbing them. Like, I thought that scene was okay. I mean, yeah, definitely, like, the best kill of the movie. But what else was I gonna say? But it just felt weird because it wasn't Michael, you know? Like, if it was Michael killing those kids, that would have been much better. But it's not. And then there's one scene where Corey, like, chops off a guy's tongue off and puts it on his, like, little, like, his record player. I mean, that was another okay kill, but it's like, why not Michael? Like, where the fuck's Michael? Yeah, and then there's a scene where where Corey beats up Michael, and it's like, how the fuck can a weak kid, like a weak fucking kid with glasses, beat up Michael Myers? That was fucking weird. And Michael Myers living in the tunnels, I thought that was cool, him living in the tunnels for 4 years. But what I didn't get was, how did he survive for 4 years down there? And what did he even have to eat down there? Like, like, I mean, it shows Michael eat like a couple of times in like the Halloween franchise. Like in Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, he eats a dog because he's like living around in the fields. Like he's just living around in like big fields in the forest. So he eats a dog. So yeah, it shows him eat. But here he doesn't eat anything. What I'm guessing is maybe he eats rats or something like that. But I don't know. But I just don't get how he was able to survive down there. But it was still a good idea having Michael Myers in the sewers. But what I don't get is why does he wait 4 years just to come back, and why has he just been laying down there for 4 years? Like, why can't he just go back? Like, that's probably like that was weird because in the other Michael Myers movies, like I'm gonna compare this to the other ones because in the other ones, Michael he only just has like a one or 2 year span, like, and that's a pretty like decent amount, like in like Halloween 1, like right after the first one, like he kills. And then Halloween 4, it's 10 years because it makes sense because he was like burnt. He was burnt so much and like he had to stay 10 years in there because they were trying to like they were taking care of him, like these people in like a hospital for the mental people, like a little like clinic for the mental people, like we're taking care of him. So at least that made sense. And then with Halloween 5, he only just took a year because he was only like in a coma for a year. And Halloween 6, well, the Dark Man was taking care of him. And then Halloween 7, yeah, Halloween 7 is where I could be like, oh yeah, why did he take 20 years? Oh yeah, no, Halloween 7 makes sense because he waited 20 years to kill another one of Laurie's bloodline. So yeah, that was cool. And then Halloween 8, yeah, screw it, I'm not gonna talk about Halloween 8. And then from Halloween Rob Zombie to Halloween 2, it makes sense 2 years because he's just in the forest. Like, it makes sense. But with this, it makes no sense why he's just 4 years down there. And then with the other movies, he's always in it for like right when the movie starts or far from it, like 5 or 10 minutes into the movie, he shows up. But with this, it's only 40 minutes. So yeah, just weird. And what was I gonna say? But when Michael shows up, it's cool. Like when he helped Corey kill the people in the mansion, I thought that was okay. And then when Michael shows up at the end and starts beating up Laurie, I thought that scene was pretty cool. What was I gonna say? Yeah, that scene where Michael and Laurie are fighting, I thought it was okay, but my biggest complaint with it is it just went by way too fast. Like, that whole fight scene, it was cool, but it just happened so fast. Like, it only lasted for like 5 minutes, and like, when Laurie kills Michael, that shit happened so damn fast. Like, she puts him on the table, she drops the refrigerator on his legs, she stabs his arms and his feet, like, to stick on the table, and then she's stabbing her hip, and then she's like slices her neck, and then Allison slices his veins. Yeah, that scene was cool, but it just happened way too quick, you know? Like, I feel like there could have been a little bit more, like, maybe Laurie runs up the stairs, and then Michael goes after her on top of the stairs, and they have more fights. That would have been cool if the fight went on for longer, but it just happened so quickly. Michael dies so quickly, and then they're like, oh, Michael, we have to make sure he's dead. I thought this was cool how he died, though, like, when they all had a town funeral, because they know that this is the guy that's been haunting their town for 40 years, for 44 years to be exact. So they all have the whole town goes to watch Michael die, and then they throw him down like this little like thing that like rims cars apart. Like, I don't know what you call it, but it's like kind of like a wood chipper kind of, but yeah, it's very similar to a wood chipper. But Michael, yeah, I thought that was cool because Michael is literally like deader than dead. Like, he's fucking dead. He's dead. But what they show is that Michael, they put him down, and then, like, in that machine, and you literally see him get all chopped up, and, like, his arms and legs, like, and his fucking head, like, explodes off. Yeah, like, it literally shows, like, him die right there. So, I thought that was a cool death for Michael. Like, that was great. Like, now we know Michael is deader than dead. And there was this whole thing with Laurie and like Officer Hawkins falling in love, but I actually thought Hawkins was gonna play a much bigger role in this movie, but since he played a huge role in the last one, I thought he was gonna play a bigger role than in the last one and be like an epic finale for him. But no, he was literally just like a side character that would just show up here and there. So that was very disappointing too. Anything else I should say? And I was expecting this to be like a drama about Laurie and Allison being so sad about Karen dying, but literally they barely even mentioned that Karen dying. So yeah, this movie could have been way better. Like, literally, this movie could have been like so much better. So to rate this movie, it's definitely one of the worst Michael Myers movies, actually. So I'm just gonna give it a D+. The same grade as Halloween Curse of Michael Myers, which I might like this just a little bit more than Halloween Curse of Michael Myers, but that's not even saying much because both those movies are fucking bad. The only reason I like this one better is at least this one feels a little complete than Curse of Michael Myers, but this one is still fucking bad. It's definitely bottom 3, actually. So, yeah. Bye, and see you all in the next review.